Did you just fire me, by text? I whispered to myself, staring at my phone like it had betrayed me personally. I was lying in my hospital bed, one arm propped in a sling, fresh from surgery, still groggy from anesthesia. The words on the screen blurred. We regret to inform you your employment has been terminated effective immediately. HR. My stomach dropped. My throat tightened. My first instinct was to call someone, anyone, but my voice caught in my own chest. I could still hear my boss's voice in my head from that last meeting. We'll support you through recovery. Don't worry about work. That lie, that fake reassurance, tasted bitter now. I laughed bitterly, a low, shaky sound. Supporting me, by firing me while I can't even lift a pen? I muttered. My roommate came in, eyebrows raised. What's going on? They just fired me, I croaked, showing him the text. He whistled low. Wow, that's cold. Dude, that's really cold. Cold didn't even begin to cover it. I felt like I'd been shoved off a cliff in slow motion. I stared at the ceiling for hours, thinking about the rent, the bills, the loans piling up, and how suddenly the life I thought I had was crumbling around me. The next morning, I dragged myself to the kitchen, still half in a haze, and my phone buzzed again. It was a message from an unknown number. I hear you're looking for a new opportunity. Meet me tomorrow. Alex. I frowned. Alex. Who the hell was Alex? And then the message continued. CEO of Horizon Tech. I've been following your work. You might want to see this in person. I laughed. Short, bitter, a little insane. Sure. Why not? Nothing left to lose. The next day, I found myself in a sleek office, the kind that made my old company feel like a cramped shoebox. The receptionist guided me in, and then I was standing face to face with Alex, a man in his 40s, calm, commanding, but not intimidating. He smiled. I'll be honest. I don't usually meet candidates this way. But your work, it stands out. I blinked, stunned. Thank you. No, thank you, he said, leaning back in his chair. It's not often someone gets fired and still shows up with the same fire. Most crumble. Most fold. I swallowed, feeling a mix of pride and embarrassment. I guess I don't crumble easily. He nodded, almost approvingly. Good. I want to offer you a project. High visibility. You'll have resources. Freedom. And yes, a decent paycheck. I wanted to laugh. You realize I got fired yesterday while recovering from surgery? I do, he said, voice calm but firm. That's exactly why I want you. For the next few months, I threw myself into the new project. Alex's company wasn't just thriving. It was innovative, exciting, everything my old place pretended to be. I worked harder than I ever had, fueled by the sting of betrayal, by the humiliation of being replaced so carelessly. Every success, every milestone, I sent a silent look at me now, to the memory of my former boss. And then came the day of confrontation. I ran into a former colleague at a networking event. Hey, heard you're at Horizon Tech now, she said, eyes wide. That's, wow. I smiled, trying to keep it casual. Yeah. Turns out, getting fired wasn't the worst thing that happened to me. Her smile faltered. Yeah, I mean, HR called me. They said your termination. It was abrupt. Guess the old CEO didn't think things through. Think things through. I asked quietly, almost to myself. They didn't think at all. Weeks later, my old boss reached out. Voice trembling. Awkward. I didn't mean for things to go that way. Can we talk? I felt the old anger flicker. Talk about what? How you threw me out while I was recovering. How you treated me like a disposable employee. I made mistakes. I see that now. Please, give me a chance to explain. I laughed, a short, bitter sound. Explain? No thanks. I've got a life now. One you wouldn't have offered me. And that was it. Closure, sharp and clean. I didn't need apologies. I didn't need validation. I had Alex's mentorship, my project, my independence, and most importantly, I had my self-respect intact. Looking back now, it's almost funny. Getting fired while my arm was in a sling felt like the end of the world. But it forced me into a space I'd never have entered otherwise. I met Alex because I had no other option. I thrived because I had every reason not to. I found a company that valued me, work that inspired me, and confidence I didn't know I'd lost. I think about my old boss sometimes. I imagine the regret gnawing at them, the realization that cruelty never builds loyalty, that short-sighted decisions have long shadows. I don't feel satisfaction in that. I just feel free. I tell this story late at night to friends who feel stuck, betrayed, or undervalued. I tell it because I want them to know something. Sometimes the universe knocks you down so hard, it forces you to find the path you were too scared to take. And that path, sometimes, it leads to everything you couldn't have imagined. So yeah, I got fired by text while recovering from surgery. I cried, I raged, I felt like my life was over. And then I met Alex, and everything changed. Not because someone handed me a silver lining, but because I was forced to see one for myself. Sheer luck. Maybe. Karma. Maybe. Or maybe just life being brutally, beautifully unpredictable. And me. I'm here, stronger, wiser, and finally living a story worth telling.